Welcome to Masculine Scrapping. Today we're going to be working on a spread of Washington, D.C. I went there for a conference in June of 22, and you can see here what I have on the plate. Designed all of this in Cricut Design Space. This part here, the Washington, D.C., was written with a pen function in the Cricut machine, and then all the rest of this was designed. This is a piece of paper from the hotel notepad on the nightstand, and I took that and then used my Cricut to write in the journaling on this, and we'll fix this down. And then you'll notice this second set of matting around everything is actually cut from a 12 by 24 piece, so I'm going to end up having to cut it onto these pages here. So I'm going to have to be real careful to watch where that cut line is going to be and to make sure everything stays on. These are nameplates with food from the conference, and I've just taped them together. Instead of cutting it, I taped it together so that they would fit flat on the page. So I am going to just start putting parts of this together. I already affixed this down. You can see all these pieces here. I wanted to make sure they were on there properly, and so put those on very carefully ahead of time because it was going to take a lot of time. So I'm just going to use some adhesive tabs here. You notice that this ended up being a little off center. I was paying a lot of attention to make sure it fit between here and here, but then when it started printing, you can see it's over that way a little bit. I decided not to redo it. One, because I only had one more piece of that paper, but two, I thought it was close enough, and I like my projects to look good, but I've not always felt like, oh, they've got to be perfect, and I'm going to keep redoing them until they're perfect. So I decided just to leave it. And it also took about 20 minutes to write that on the Cricut machine. These are two pictures of embassies. This is the Indian Embassy. This is across from the street from the hotel I was staying at. I'm not entirely sure which embassy it is. It might have been Bangladesh or something like that. I just thought it was kind of a cool thing to put some of those pictures in. I didn't get any pictures from inside the hotel. The Venn Hotel at Embassy Row in Washington, D.C. Cool little hotel. Room was tiny, but I really enjoyed my time there. Nice quality hotel. Notice that I'm carefully making sure that that little spire gets on top of the picture frame. Now we'll work on this side. I think I'm going to put the pictures in first on this one, and then that. The Cosmos Club is a private club where we had our leadership training. Had a dress code, so I had to wear a tie the whole time and a jacket. And it was in the middle of the summer, so it was pretty warm. But very nice place, had some amazing food there, and so that was fun to have that experience. This is the entrance to the Cosmos Club right here. You can see right there, maybe Cosmos Club. I took a picture of it just to help remind me where it was. And then I decided that it would make the scrapbook. So. Yeah, these name tags with the food I ordered is called ephemera, and I always keep these little things. They don't always make it into the scrapbook, and I don't save them after I scrapped. If I don't use something in the scrapbook, it goes in the trash. I just don't have space to keep all that stuff. But if it goes in the scrapbook, then it kind of helps just tell the story a little bit of the experience. Not that I really care what I ate at those meals to remember that, but I think it just adds a little bit of, oh, that's right, that's what happened in that spot. And so I'm using cut piece of old photograph. Now you'll notice I did not tape these two together like I normally do. I think partially because they're staying together pretty well. I am going to just flip this whole thing, and then we are going to get a lot of tape on this around these spots where it's going to be cut in the middle. The reason I'm putting a lot of tape on this is that it is pretty heavy with all of the pieces, and so I want to make sure that it will not pull off of the backing. Okay, I've got the 2 pages together. I want to make sure that I don't cut the T, so I'm watching that pretty carefully. Okay, I think it's in place. So we'll just push everything down now. Excuse me. This is an important part here of now cutting it apart. And I usually tape these together, makes it a little easier, but this time I didn't. Okay, so we just got to make sure that it's all lined up perfectly with the paper. There we go. And I'm going to run across it a couple times just to make sure I made it all the way through. And I can see already that I've got a cut mark here I'm going to have to engage with. Put it back together. And now I'm just going to use a glue pen. There we go. Now we're just going to see how, okay. Same thing here. I'm just going to lift this a little bit. And we'll get a little bit of glue under there, push it back down. Same thing here. Little glue right on the edge, push it back down. Okay, and then let's look at this side. Okay, same thing. Just lift it gently. Little glue pen underneath. That should help to hold it. Yeah, see, I've got good taping in there, so that's good. All right, there we go. My trip to Washington, D.C., the Van Hotel at Embassy Row, and the Cosmos Club. Hope you have enjoyed this. Would love to see your work. Have a great day.